J.R.R. Tolkien created an astonishingly deep and richly detailed world where every element feels carefully thought out. Yet, even in such a meticulously crafted story, there remain questions the author never answered directly. One of them still sparks debate among fans. What truly drove Frodo to leave Middle-earth after everything he had endured? After the destruction of the One Ring in the fires of Mount Doom, when the Eagles rescued Frodo and Sam, it seemed as though all was finally over. But in the books, the events unfolded differently. Saruman, having survived the fall of Isengard, escaped the Ents' captivity and, stripped of his former power, turned his schemes against the defenseless Shire. With the help of hired ruffians, he seized Frodo's homeland. But when Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin returned from the war, they rallied the hobbits and freed their land. Only then did Grama, worn down by humiliation, kill his master. Peace returned to the Shire. Sam became mayor, with Frodo as his loyal deputy. Yet years of quiet life did not bring Frodo peace. Old wounds from the Nazgul's blade, Shelob's venom, and Gollum's teeth still ached. But perhaps it wasn't only the pain. Some theories suggest that even after the ring's destruction, its shadow lingered in the ring-bearer's soul. He felt a strange emptiness, as though he had lost a part of himself. Moments surfaced in his memory when he could have claimed its power, and though he had resisted, the temptation still gnawed at him. Some believe he was also driven by guilt. Tolkien wrote that no being in Middle-earth could willingly throw the ring into the fire. In the final moment, Frodo fell victim to its power, and only chance, in the form of Gollum, led to victory. Perhaps he felt he had failed those who trusted him and longed to go somewhere no one would remind him of it. There is also a simpler version. Frodo had always been drawn to the elven lands. From the very beginning of his journey, he listened to tales of the West, where the stars shine eternally, and when the invitation came, he simply could not refuse. Whether it was an escape from pain and memories, or the pursuit of a dream he had cherished since youth, is for each reader to decide. But the fact remains. When the white ship set sail to the west, Frodo left behind not only the shores of Middle-earth, but his old life as well. While the ship drifted farther from the shore, Frodo stood at the rail, breathing in the salty scent of the sea. He had never seen such vastness before. The waves, gently rocking the vessel, seemed alive, whispering in an ancient tongue understood only by those who sailed west. Gandalf stood beside him. His gaze was calm, yet in its depths shone a quiet sadness. He knew this journey was not merely a road to healing. For each soul on board, it meant something different. For the elves, it was a homecoming, a return to the light they had only left for a time. For Frodo, it was a voyage into the unknown, but also a chance to finally set down the heavy weight of the years he had lived. That night, the sky over the sea blossomed with thousands of stars. Never had Frodo seen them so near and bright. The soft light of the moon silvered the waves, and in that moment the pain in his shoulder, where the Morgul blade had pierced him, grew fainter. Yet with the easing of the pain came a hollowness, as if, along with the ache, a part of himself was fading away. Time flowed differently at sea. Days and nights blurred together, and Frodo began to notice that memories of the Shire were slipping farther into the distance, as though he were looking at them through a veil of mist. He remembered Sam's, Merry's, and Pippin's faces, but their voices were already drowned by the murmur of the ocean. And he wondered, perhaps this was the true purpose of the journey, to allow those who had endured too much to slowly forget. When the coastline finally appeared ahead, it was unlike anything Frodo had ever seen. The land of Valinor glowed with a gentle, warm light that came not from the sun, but seemed to radiate from the very earth and air. The grass was taller and greener than in the Shire. The trees stood like giants, and in their crowns sparkled lights like tiny stars. But the strangest thing was the feeling there was no time here. It did not drag or rush. It simply ceased to exist. Frodo realized that in this place he would never grow old, and perhaps his pain would vanish forever. Yet along with this came the knowledge that there would be no path back. Gandalf quietly placed a hand on his shoulder. "Welcome home," he said. And in that moment, Frodo understood that home was no longer the green hills and cozy burrows, that home was in the past. And he himself was now in a new world, one that would forever change who he was.